Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's episode, we're going to continue our NBA previews for this upcoming season, and we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. If you want to know how we felt about their offseason, we do have a video out. You'll just have to look up their division and see how we felt about their offseason. We're going to focus about their season moving forward. Let us know in the comments down below how you felt about this season. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Clint, let's get into the Dallas Mavericks season. So last year they finished 39-43. They let's see, re-signed Gafford and they extended Washington. They added D'Angelo Russell. Probably for his defense. They drafted Cooper Flagg, and they only lost Spencer Dinwiddie, which is pretty good. That's the only person they lost. So let's talk about the Mavericks. Clint, what's your biggest strength, or what are you looking forward to with the Mavericks the most going into this season?
Has to be their forward center size.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big team. Flagg, Davis, Lively, Marshall, PJ Washington, Gafford. That's a lot of quality big guys. No, there could be issues with that, but being able to have those guys in that position, you can sustain or take on a small injury and not be just wiped out like some teams when we go through. If the center, when we talked about Portland, if Klingon goes down, you're like, what do we have here? This team, you lose some of it. I mean, Anthony Davis is obviously the linchpin there defensively, but outside of that, if a guy is missing, you have some incredible size, athleticism, and defensive jobs there.
Yeah, it's funny. That's exactly what I put down. Defensive front court centers with Lively and Gafford, Flagg, Washington, Marshall, Davis. Like, I think their defense is going to be kind of fun to watch because how long they are. And I think it's going to also mask some of the other concerns that the point guard, like the guard position, like, oh, they're going to have a hard time, guarding because I think with Thompson right now and Russell, obviously, both of them are not like defenders, especially Thompson in this stage of his career, and Russell has never been a defender. But like, it's like if you have the two forwards in the center long defensive minded, they can kind of mask that a little bit. So I think that's a big strength going into the season for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Biggest weakness for the Mavericks, or what you're least looking forward to?
I'm worried about the spacing on this team. Anthony Davis doesn't really space the floor anymore. Rumors where he was going to try again, but it hasn't looked after that Lakers title season. His jump shot has kind of looked cooked. Obviously, Lively, Gafford aren't shooters. Cooper Flagg, who knows? That would be a big help if Cooper Flagg, if his shot has progressed. But outside of Klay Thompson, you don't really have a sniper on this team. D'Angelo Russell had a down shooting year last year, 31%, 36 on his career, it's respectable. I mean, he's really streaky. So the strength defensively, I think they'll be fine defensively. I mean, Klay Thompson, you could put in Max Christie, but again, I just worry the shooting on this team is going to kind of clog some of it up. And I worry that until Kyrie comes back, and if he can come back healthy, that playmaking, D'Angelo Russell can do it, but you kind of lose that free open space.
Yeah, I had that too. The spacing. I think anytime you have Gafford Lively on the court with Davis, it's just gonna and then Flagg right now. Flagg is not known like it's going to take a year or two before he can shoot like NBA threes at 38. At least I think so, right? Like 38% or higher. Like, so he's going to help make it harder to shoot. Like, he's going to be part of the problem there is what I'm trying to say. With those three guys on the court together, you're relying really on two guys to space the floor. That's going to like bog your offense down. And I don't think like Russell or like Kyrie is really good at penetrating and making the most stupidest shots like you'll ever see in the lane. So spacing, he can kind of mask that, where I don't think Russell's that good in the paint at all. So I think like that's a huge problem for the Mavericks.
Yeah, and when you had Luca, he would get downhill and then he's awesome at throwing those lobs like to Lively, and that really
Hmm.
kind of brought him to life. You lose some of that with D'Angelo Russell. I think more teams would just be like, cool, shoot the floater 10 times in a game, opposed
Right.
to just giving up the dunk. So you're right. And Kyrie can do that too, but he has those insane finishes that for a small guy is incredible to
Right.
watch. But you
Yes.
don't get that with Russell. So that kind of um, adds to the lack of spacing when you don't have someone threatening that.
Yeah, 100% agree. What's your big question that you have going into the season?
What they're going to do at Cooper Flag, you
Yes,
know,
it's a
the
good one.
direction of the team. You have talent, good team. At least parts of it are good, but you traded Luca. You totally lucked into Cooper Flag,
Yep.
but Nico Harrison obviously doesn't want to have a terrible year. Doesn't want to look stupid. So are you just going to use Cooper Flag as like off ball? He might not thrive. He was an okay shooter in college, but it was on, I think, 3 attempts a game. He shot like 40% from three. It would have to be higher than that if he's off ball. And if he's on ball, you're going to have growing pains with that, which, again, with lack of spacing might look weird. So I'm curious how they use Cooper Flag, because I think you just want this guy is your team going forward. I don't know if the Mavericks are ready to accept that. So I just question what they're going to allow him to do or how they're going to fit him in.
Yeah, I like that one. And um it's just going to be like I think eventually he could be like a primary ball handler, like he has a skill set to be, or like even a secondary ball handler, but like going from college to the NBA is just a different beast, and you're going to deal with defenders that are just as big and long as you every single night, and they're really good at what they do. So it's just going to be harder for him. So there'd be growing pains there. That's a good question. I'm kind of curious. Have you heard like the same things? Like basically they're planning on him being the primary handler right now.
Yeah, I heard of it. Just like you said, I don't know if that might not breed success to start out.
Right, right, yeah, yeah. Here's my big question. Obviously, we Kyrie's health is a big question, but I thought that was too obvious. When do you think that they should just go with Exum in the starting lineup over Russell? Just go all in on defense and just like, yeah, your offense will probably be a little like I think their offense is going to be like hard already, but like you could go with the New Orleans Magic model where you're just like, we're going to be number two in defense and 27th in offense during the regular season until Kyrie comes back, but that will give us an opportunity for like a playoff spot.
I mean, it's a strategy. I don't totally hate it. I think um, in the West it might be hard because a lot of good defensive teams. In the East, I think you could pull it off and get away with some of it, but I just think some of the teams out West are good enough offensively to overcome some of that, and then you're not going to be good enough
Sure.
offensively to overcome their defense. But it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, well, spit on my point. I just think Russell. It's like the good thing about Russell is like he can get hot, and like when he's hot, you want him on the court shooting. But the bad thing is he always thinks he's hot, no matter like if he's hot or not, and that's the bad thing. So like it's like a give take. So I was thinking, man, would you just start Exum and just like go all in on defense and just hope you can like grind out while Kyrie's gone, like 37 wins, and then when he comes back, some people are saying in March or whatever that you can just kind of get up to 42. But yeah, I mean, you might be right. The West might be. It was just a thought. Yeah. Okay, what constitutes for you as success? What in your mind is a successful season for the Mavericks?
For me, it all it all comes to just sticking with Cooper Flag. I, I have a feeling it's going to ebb and flow because they're going to want to win. They're going to want to look good. So I worry that if they start Cooper Flag with the ball and you lose a couple games because as good as he looks, he's still a rookie, that you're going to kind of, I don't want to say lose him because I do think he's really good, but stunt the different aspects of his game, because you don't want to turn the dude into just a stand in the corner, shoot threes, or
Right.
be the second or third playmaker. But you also don't, I think for them, don't want to make him the one and then struggle through, losing a game, by 7 points because you were good defensively, but now you can't score at all. So I think a successful season is just getting Cooper Flag comfortable. I would tend to ease him in, but letting him do all the different things and not just being like, well, we need this game. Go stand in the corner, young dude.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. Yeah. Um, is it too harsh to say that they got to finish as good or better than the Lakers to have a successful season? I really think, like, in my mind, that's what a successful season is, because how you pitch to the fans in the NBA, like, this is a good trade because we're trying to win now. You can't have the team that you traded the best, like one of the top five players in the league to be better than you the year after you make that big trade. You just can't. You just can't have that happen. So to me, if I am a Mavericks fan, in my mind, the only way I'm having a successful season and feel better about the trade that happened last year is if we're better than the Lakers. Like, that's it. As good or better. So that to me is what would be a successful season for the Mavericks.
I think that's going to be tough to do.
I agree. I agree, but I don't know how fans would justify. I understand you can use Kyrie as an injury excuse, but it's like it's I don't know. It's not like the Lakers roster is awesome either, right? Like so you got to own it. You got to be like, hey, we're as good as this team or better. Like that was a horrible trade. Still, I don't care that you got the number one overall pick. It was a bad trade.
Yeah, I think if they were thinking it through, when you get the number one pick, you would probably have traded Anthony Davis,
Yes.
and just moved on from some of these guys, took what you could get, rebuild some stuff, whether it's players or picks. Because I think Cooper Flag is going to end up being a 4. I
Yeah.
think that's what he's going to have to play, and Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the 5. I mean, you could do it at times, and it will probably look pretty good. But I think if you were thinking this through, you would have moved on from Klay Thompson. You would have moved on from Anthony Davis, got what you could, and said, hey, this is Cooper Flag's team. It's probably not going to look good this year, but we replace Luka with Cooper Flag, and you'll
Well,
see the results of that down the road. But at least you could be like, we have Cooper Flag, and we have all these picks, and we got these, some picks and a couple young guys.
Right. Like if let's say if like you got another pick or even just Austin Reeves in that trade, right? Like you can be like, hey, we got Reeves, we got Flay, we got Lively, we're gonna trade Davis and we're just gonna start over. At least you can sell your fan base on like the trade was a little bit more worth it. The reason why they're not trading Davis is because they know that was a bad trade and they can't justify it right now. So I just anyway. Prediction. What's your prediction
So
for the
yeah,
Mavericks?
yeah, the Mavs are one of these teams on the edge for me. We were talking offline, and I mentioned a little before, like I probably have 3 teams for 2 play-in spots, but I think the Mavericks are a play-in, probably a higher-end play-in team, because I think defensively, and assuming Anthony Davis can play a majority of the season, I think they'll be good enough to get a play-in spot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to be like 9-8, like 9-8-7 somewhere in there. They'll be that, and it just really depends on a lot of it is on Kyrie and how healthy he is when he comes back. And so I think if he doesn't come back healthy and he needs a lot of time, they might be more like 9-10. And if he comes back and he's like ready to go and he's Kyrie, I think they can be like 8-7. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, anything else on the Mavs?
Nope, it just again, this is one of those on the brink teams. Part of me really wants it to just totally flame out, and I don't. Obviously, we don't want injuries, but if Anthony Davis has to miss 2 months with a bad ankle sprain or something, Nico Harrison might not want to do many press conferences if they ended up in a lottery.
Yeah, I think like to save his job. Because if they don't get into the playoffs, like, he's got to be gone, right? Like so like to save his job, wouldn't the right move to be like, okay, we're not going to maybe make the playoffs. Can I salvage this by trading Anthony Davis and just getting a lot for him? That would be the best way maybe to save his job, but we'll see what he does. Okay. Let us know in the comments down below how wrong we are, Dallas Maverick fans. I don't know how mad you guys are still about Luka, but apparently I'm still really upset about the Luka trade. So let us know down in the comments down below. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys all real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.